Hello, I thought I'd record a short blog on fraud, accidental or deliberate, and abuse surrounding the furlough scheme and how HMRC are now looking to investigate employers and take stern action where needed. HMRC's Chief Executive Jim Harrow was asked to report to the Commons Public Select Committee recently, and within his statement he made it very clear what HMRC's position was. He acknowledged that the scheme was a magnet for fraudsters and open to abuse by employers. However, shared that the department will be looking to protect the Exchequer's and government's position robustly. He advised that draft legislation had been incorporated into the finance bill to allow HMRC not only to recoup payments incorrectly claimed by employers or not used to pay employees, but apply penalties to anybody who deliberately made an incorrect claim, including specific powers to grant company officers, so directors, personally liable for any charge where a company is unable to repay the debt. Remember, fraud can also lead to 10 years in prison. Now, it also offers an amnesty as such, where it will not apply penalties to anybody who notifies HMRC of an error within the next 30 days or 30 days following the royal assent of that finance bill, whichever is sooner. That in itself, to me, shows the level and indication of how many employers it suspects has abused the scheme some significant amounts. Now, HMRC have also set up a dedicated whistleblowing phone number where companies can be reported, and they take each and every tip-off very seriously. As it stands, over 3,000 employers have been reported to HMRC since April, and that figure is growing every single day. Apparently, of the claims reviewed by HMRC so far, 1/3 didn't warrant any further investigation. Now that leaves 2/3 being closely looked at, and that's a substantial rate. Now, employers may have inadvertently made an error, so accidentally committed furlough fraud, such as bringing employees back too soon, not meeting the 3-week minimum period, or not restricting the amount claimed to 80% or £2,500. These are the common errors and mistakes that HMRC are actually spotting during their reviews. We can't stress enough the need to review your claims given the constant change in the guidance since day one of furloughing to ensure that they don't contain any errors or mistakes. It's worth mentioning that the old scheme, as I'm now going to call it, the one up until effectively the 1st of July, is crystal clear that it does not allow furloughed employees to do any work for their employer. So that's not making any money for them, nor providing any services to them. Now, training is specifically mentioned as an example of something you can do, but it's difficult to see many activities undertaken which will not be deemed work and challenged by HMRC. Now, 2 recent independent surveys have been undertaken. One found that more than 1/3 of furloughed employees had been asked to work by their employer in breach of the rules, whilst another advised that 29%, slightly less than a third, have been told to undertake administration duties whilst furloughed, again in breach. If these surveys do represent a true sort of national picture, you can understand and see why HMRC will be looking to investigate employers for some significant amount of time to come, given the billions of pounds that the scheme is costing, so they can recoup some of the significant amounts of debt back to the Treasury. So I'm just going to finish by saying that we all wondered how the furlough scheme was going to be policed, and we now have our answer. I'm not surprised. Are you really? I'm sure not. Please don't be one of those accidental fraud statistics. speak to your professional advisors if you have any questions or concerns. Thanks.